Greetings to everyone out there. I'm Dave Householder, and I'm blessed to be your Bible teacher here on the World Wide Well. Well, I'm going to take you into one of the strangest books in the Bible. It's called Ecclesiastes, and it was written by someone named Kohelet, which means the preacher, and that person is associated with Solomon, who was that wise king. And there are some parts of this book that are rather depressing. And it talks about vanity, vanity, all is vanity. And no matter what we try, we don't really know, and all that kind of stuff. But there is some deeper wisdom in the book, and it's a surprising kind of wisdom that comes to us here in chapter 8. And it fits really well for difficult times. It starts out by saying, obey the king, obey the ruler. And it's so tempting just to rise up against the ruler. And there are times when you have to do that. It says in the Bible, for everything there is a season. But really, it has to be really bad before we do that. And all of our leaders are imperfect, our governor, our president, everyone else, and they're people just like us. And it's no fun to be in leadership during a crisis. So unless people are doing something just horribly, horribly wrong, it's important to kind of try to go along with that. And it says here, obey the king, and also the king has a lot of power, so be careful if you stand up against the king. The government does have a lot of power. They have a monopoly on force, for goodness sake. And so that being the case, it says, well, and in time you'll find a way to do the right thing, even if you have to work around the rules a little bit. So there's a little bit of advice for us in there. And then it goes on to say, indeed, how can people avoid what they don't know is going to happen? And if there's one thing I've learned during this whole COVID-19 thing, is that the greatest minds don't know what's happening. Some of the greatest statisticians out there, even ones that are very non-political, have missed projections by orders of magnitude, both small and large. And the truth is, we don't find out about these things until we get a little bit of experience with them. I remember when AIDS first came out, it took quite a while before we realized you can't get it from sharing a glass of soda with somebody, and you have to get it a certain way. And we just didn't know. And it wasn't that we were stupid back then. And a lot of people were dying. We had a very good friend die from a blood transfusion. And that was just tragic, tragic. And nobody was sure what was going on. And it's the truth even now. There are such limits to human wisdom. There are things we just don't understand. This chapter closes by saying, this reminded me that no one can discover everything God has created in our world, no matter how hard they work at it. Not even the wisest people know everything, even if they say they do. So there's some practical wisdom in here and limits to our understanding. In philosophy, we call that epistemology, the study of what we can know and what we can't know, degrees of certainty, degrees of knowing and understanding. And the truth is, we have facts and we have narratives, and facts are meaningless. But we have to have a narrative around the facts in order to make meaning out of it. But narratives, by their very definition, aren't facts. So we have competing narratives in our country right now. And those narratives are just going after each other as if the other side is all wrong and they're all right. But really, from the facts, the key to wisdom is getting to a higher level and understanding the facts from a level which includes a bigger portion of the narratives. And that's going to take some time in coming. So what does Kohelet, what does the writer suggest that we do in the middle of all this uncertainty? I just love it. This is verse 15. So I recommend having fun because there is nothing better for people to do in this world than to eat, drink, and enjoy life. That way they'll experience some happiness, some joy, along with all the hard work that God has given them. And so my charge to you today is to be a realistic person about what we can know, what we can't know. Not to buy into any narratives about facts which are premature. And there's a lot of premature narratives out there on the left and on the right. And understand that God's in charge, that we will learn over time. And over time, we'll learn the right way to go. But this does take time. This is not an instant thing where we're just going to find out everything about what's going on quickly. And really, in the middle of all this, we can't lose our joy. We've got to enjoy eating together, drinking together, um, having fun together. We can do that safely. We can do that with people we share our lives with. It's so important to connect. So have some fun today. Go do something which you enjoy. And my wife just made some banana bread, fresh banana bread, still warm and crumbled as I was eating it. It was a little crusty on the outside. It was just fantastic. And it made my day in the middle of all the challenges we're facing right now. So get out there, have some fun, eat, drink, and connect with some people. And don't forget to have some joy in the middle of this life, which we never fully understand. That's the good news for today, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow.